Hello and welcome to Real Talk, Real Women, the podcast that was designed to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower the woman, her life, and her business as you redefine, rediscover, and reintroduce the new you unapologetically. Now, here are your hosts, Martha Cooper Hudson and Adrienne Johnson.
Hello to all of my awesome and amazing girlfriends and a few good men who's listening to our show today. My name is Martha Cooper Hudson, your extractor of purpose, your comeback coach, and I want to welcome you to our very first episode of Real Talk, Real Women, the podcast that was created to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower the woman, her life, and her business. Today, I'm joined in the Real Talk studios by my co-host, my hot sauce to my fish, my Gail to this Oprah, and my peanut butter to this jelly. My sister friend, the beautiful, the bodacious, the thought-provoking, and soul-singing connection catalyst, Miss Adrienne M. Johnson. Adrienne, come on in and say hello to the ladies.
Hey, everybody. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I heard you coming in with that background, Martha. Hey. Whoa. Oh,
yes,
hey.
yes. Listen, I tell you, you didn't know. Some of you guys probably didn't know that my hot sauce could really sing. You know, that's her lane. That's her gift. God didn't give it to me, and I was going to come in with that whoa, whoa, but I wanted you to stay on for the entire show because that is not what I was created to do. This voice was created to speak life into each and every woman that's listening to the sound of our voice on Real Talk, Real Women. On the show today, we will talk about how Real Talk, Real Women, my sister, came about and what you can expect from this platform. The conversations we will have on this platform will be real talk, real topics, real conversations for real women that will address the woman, her life, and her business in a true and authentic way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed, Adrienne. But I think, I would like to probably start off with telling a piece of our journey, with sharing with them how we all got started, how we got connected to this platform and what it is that we are doing. See, but our journey started, 14 years ago.
Oh, yes.
Our journey started 14 years ago when I was gainfully employed at that time. I am certifiably unemployable at this time. But when I was certified, when I was employed there for the Beaufort County School District, and I met you in the halls of St. Helena Elementary School, and we decided at that moment there was something about us. There was something that connected us together, and that connection was purpose.
Absolutely.
That connection was determination. That connection was drive. And I can remember over the years that we worked together, how we would share with each other our dreams and our vision and our purpose, and how we as sister friends, how we uplifted each other, how we supported each other, and how we strengthened each other to push forward and to do exactly what we needed to do. And so this journey for us on this platform and walking in this purpose actually started some 6 years ago. And now our mission has never changed.
That's right.
It's always been the same: to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower all women to stand up, suit up, and boss up in their purpose.
That's right.
And I tell you what, I am so thankful and grateful that you decided to join me on this ride. And not only did you join me on this ride, this purpose became your purpose, and you allowed your gifts and talents to be utilized on this platform so that we can impact billions of lives on this planet before these two sexy sisters leave this world. And so I can remember, ladies, about 13 years ago, my husband got sick. My husband was diagnosed at that moment with stage 3 colorectal cancer, and he was 40 years of age. Yeah. We had a 1-year-old. We had a 3-year-old. We had a mortgage that was almost $4,000, and he was the breadwinner of this family. And at that moment, about 3 months in to his chemotherapy and radiation, his job decided that he was a liability and he was no longer an asset. And so at that moment, ladies, they didn't ask my permission. They didn't ask my kids' permission. Right. And they definitely didn't ask Wells Fargo permission on could they take my income away from us, the breadwinning income away from us that allowed us to sustain the life in which we needed. But then I was introduced to an opportunity by a brother friend of mine, an educator, a principal, assistant principal down in West Palm Beach, Florida, who introduced me to the world, a world that I didn't know anything about. And that world was network marketing. And when he introduced me to that industry at a time where my husband was really sick and he was just fighting for his life and fighting to get back healthy, I had no other option, ladies, but to look at an opportunity that has changed my life forever. That opportunity took my back from out of the wall and placed it against the wall, and then allowed me to be able to walk and carry my family until my husband was able to carry himself. And so that with that, I was able to do incredible things. In 8 years, in the 8 years that I was in the industry, I was able to do some incredible things. Not only were we able to get out of that financial rut, but we were able to impact the lives of so many people and help them not only obtain and take care of their needs, but to definitely gain a lot of their wants over those years. But then that one day, God said to me, I didn't give you that business for you to forget about your purpose. That's right. See, I've known my purpose all my life. I've known that purpose that I've suppressed because I didn't want others to say, oh, who you think you are? Do you think you're better than everyone else? Why are you speaking so positively over a negative situation? Why is it that everything has a positive outlook for you? And so I hid that gift that God gave me. And I decided when he woke me up that day in a hotel room, I'll never forget it, in Houston, Texas. And he said to me those words, I simply said, wow. Yeah. But I fought that, Adrian. I didn't give in at that time because I had thousands upon thousands of people's lives in my hand. But I had to realize that it wasn't about me, that it was about the mission and purpose that he gave me. And it was about the ability to chase my purpose and not chase the dollar. And when I decided to do just that, prosperity ran me over. And that was the birth of Women of Greatness. Yes. Women of Greatness was born on that day, and I didn't know what I was going to do with Women of Greatness, but I knew that I had to do something. And I knew that the very person that gave it to me before he gave me to my mother, I knew that he would share with me what I needed to do. And then fast forward till today, my sister. Fast forward till today, my sister. You know, I like to say if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I don't know where I would be at this moment. But I know at this very moment, he has given us, he's taken that platform from being a platform of women of greatness to a platform that teaches and shares and show highly driven women on a mission, how to rediscover her, how to redefine, rediscover, and reintroduce the new you unapologetically. And so I am here on this journey to make sure that we do what we need to do for every listener that's tuning in to our podcast. Every listener that's tuning in to our podcast, we want to make sure that we are serving you, we are supporting you, we are lifting you up so that you can up-level your life, up-level your thinking so that you can live your best life ever.
Absolutely. Wow, Martha, you have said a mouthful, and it is so important because purpose was calling.
Yes, it was.
Purpose was calling both of us. And, our listeners have joined us. But they're opening the book on this chapter.
That's right.
They don't know the journey.
Ooh.
They haven't read they haven't read the prologue. They haven't read the preface. And so it's so important that we share the full story so everybody understands how we got here. And you shared your journey. I was there.
From the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
And who knew that it would manifest this amazing transformation in you and the lives of everybody.
That's right.
That this platform has been able to touch. So I'm grateful that I was obedient.
Yes.
Because when our paths collided, purpose was reignited.
Come on now.
Can we come through somebody? Purpose was reignited. Yeah, and I heard you say, if it had not been for the Lord on my side, tell me where would I be? I want to know, hey, where would I be?
Wow. Wow. I tell you, girl, I got chills on my arms.
See what you done stirred up in here now.
Yes.
But listen, seriously, we recognize and realize that we have been called to manifest something greater. And for me, being a part of that journey, Martha, I had to leave my safe space. I had to leave the comfort zone, the security of working in the school system, a good job with great benefits, had the summers off and that kind of thing. But you always said to me, Adrienne, there's something more.
That's right.
I see something more inside of you. And then there became a restlessness that was inside of me. What I loved anymore became something that I almost started to dread.
That's right.
And I'm not even embarrassed to say that, but there was something higher calling me. And the word that stuck with me years ago was impact. I knew that God had called me to have greater impact. Impact outside of my second grade classroom, and then God elevated me to leadership in the building. Impact outside of the school building. Impact outside of the state level, which He elevated me to. And it just has continued to expand and expand and expand. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to touch lives through this platform. So again, there was a restlessness calling inside of me. But first, I had to get into alignment. The alignment came first, and then the elevation. And then you fast forward to today. I'm now able to tap into my gifts and talents and able to impact this planet at on a whole other level. And I am so grateful to say, as we say, we define the 50 and Fine Club.
Yes, ma'am.
That I am empowered to do it unapologetically.
That's right.
Unapologetically. I will not look back. I can't go back. Because I'm not who I was anymore. That's another one that's coming up. Yes. I can't go back to the way it used to be.
That's right.
So I'm just so grateful and excited about what we have to offer because I know it's truly going to be life-changing and transformational.
Yes, it will be. And I can tell you what, ladies, that what we can promise you is that if you stay tuned to this platform, if you stay connected to this platform, if you utilize the principles, the strategies, and the skills that will be taught on this platform, I can promise you this, that you will never be the same, and that something is going to wake up inside of you that no one can put to sleep and rest again. Now we're going to transition into why we chose this platform for the ladies who's listening to us. So we want to definitely give them the real deal, Holyfield.
No caps.
No caps. Being authentically who, no S. Okay. No cap.
That's right.
Being authentically who we really are. So, Ladies, our desire to bring forth this platform came out of a space and a desire and a need. You know, as we traveled all over this world, doing brunches and lunches and conferences and our Me, Myself, and I Women's Weekend getaways, we realized and recognized that there were things that were missing in the lives of those women. We also realized that the women that invested in our leadership academies and took our trainings, that we realized that there was a lack of a safe zone and a safe space for women to be their authentic selves without judgment. And so we wanted to create that zone and that space for women to be authentically who you are without being judged.
Absolutely.
You know, who am I to judge you? Who am I to talk about your journey? Because we all have a story, Adrian. What I know for sure is this, is that most people judge a book by the chapter in which they came in, but they did not read chapters 1 through 10 before they got to 11. And we are giving you that space in which we accept you for where you are.
That's right.
We will meet you where you are. And because of that, we are going to make sure that you are able to be supported, lifted,
Absolutely.
empowered, and equipped with the tools that you need in order to up-level your life and be and live the best life you possibly can.
Wow, Martha, that's so important. As you said, in our travels, we have been blessed to touch all kinds of women from diverse backgrounds. And when women come into our settings, so often they're guarded. You know, their guards are up. Their defenses are up. They don't know how to trust the process.
No, they don't.
Because they've been burned so many times before. And so creating this safe zone for women to really be their authentic selves without judgment. This is a non-judgmental platform.
Non-judgmental.
It's a non-competitive platform as well.
Come on now.
Now that one might make you run around the room.
Are you saying in that non-competitive atmosphere, are you saying that the only competition that enters into the room is you?
That's right.
And that you're in competition with yourself, but you're going to lock arms with your sister.
Absolutely.
And you're going to look across the room and you're going to point and you're going to say, I support you?
That's right. Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the only person I am in competition with is who I was on yesterday.
My God.
Amen. Can somebody come through?
All right, come through.
Okay, come through, somebody. That's right. And we support our network in doing that. We strengthen them so that they are able to get into alignment with who they are, identify that, and stick to that unapologetically. And so it was really important for us to begin to have these real talk, real conversations about topics that are relevant to women, their lives and their businesses. So often we want to come in and pretend and do what we think society has expected us to be able to do and have the kinds of conversations and the ways that society expects us to do it. We wanted to create a platform for you all listeners that we can have some real talk and some real conversations with people that you can reach out and touch. Women just like you. It's so important that you, there's a connection that you have. And we often, you hear all the time, build your network to increase your net worth. Just because you have a network doesn't mean you're truly connected to somebody.
That's right.
And so this platform is going to allow us to really to connect with women in a true, authentic, lasting, and meaningful way. So I'm excited about that.
I am excited about that because as we've traveled around this world, Adrian, as we've taken the platforms and the stages all over this world, the one thing that I know for sure is that we created real relationships.
Real relationships.
Real.
R-E-A-L.
R-E-A-L. Relationships. We created real relationships that has lasted over the time. And it's not because you were connected to our financial chain. It's not because you were connected to someone that we knew. It's not that we were connected to you on a personal level, but we created friendships that was going to last a lifetime so that when we need to reach back, because we need a little uplifting, when we need for you to hold our hands when we get tired, we will have that support system that will do just that.
Absolutely.
And some of the things that we've been able to realize is that so many women suffer from that space and place that they are unworthy.
Yes, they've been made to feel like that.
They've been made to feel that they are unworthy, and that we are wearing masks that's covered really well with MAC makeup and all of those other brands, and we're wearing those masks and we are covering up that pain instead of dealing with those spaces and places out of fear that we may lose some people that's connected close to us. But because we've been wearing those masks, Adrian, we've settled and we've suffered. And today it's time for us to suffer no more.
That's right.
Because you settling stops here.
Absolutely. We're not going to settle anymore. So many women felt like they didn't even have a right to desire more.
That's right.
Like, who am I to be asking for? I should be satisfied. I should be content. And so when we encounter women like this, oftentimes there is a bit of resistance because of fear.
Yes.
And we say you can make it happen or you can make excuses, but you can't do both at the same time.
Can't do both.
Right? So once you've had that awakening, you got to embrace the enlightenment, right?
That's right.
And then activate the change. And so I'm excited that this platform is going to help so many people to activate the changes. Another thing that we come across, Martha, is people, a lot of women hiding behind positions and titles.
Adrian, it is so funny to me because I tell people, I said, if the positions and the titles is not changing my zip code, if it's not changing my zip code, we need to reevaluate those things. And that is so, it saddens me to know that so many times people's self-worth is tied up in a title.
That's right.
And a position. But when you know who you are and whose you are, a title and a position can't define you, nor can it hold what's inside of you.
Absolutely. Listen, never was a truer statement made. Position, title, status, material possessions, none of those things have any value if you don't know your worth.
That's right.
We see women, wearing the red bottoms and designer from head to toe. Everything is perfectly manicured on them, and they are literally walking, breathing corpses.
They're the walking dead.
They're dead on the inside.
That's right.
The light has gone out of their eyes.
But I can tell you what, because of this platform.
Oh, yes.
Because of Rediscover Her, because of our ability to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower all women, because of the gifts that God placed inside of us, we're going to wake up those corpses.
Absolutely.
We're going to wake up those dry bones, and they're going to be able to walk through and walk on this planet, Adrian, and live their best life. They're going to be doing a little Duval. I'm living my best life. They're going to be living their best life around here, doing what they need to do.
And they ain't going back and forth with nobody about it either.
I'm not going back and forth with you.
I'm not going back and forth
No,
with
I
you
am
about
not.
that. Yes.
Because I'm worth the investment.
Right. That's right.
I'm worth the time, and I am worth loving me, all of me, my flaws and everything.
That's right.
I am worth loving me because He created me as a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to walk in it, girl. I am going to walk in it. So the transformations that we've seen in women who've applied the principles that we've taught and that we will give on this platform is absolutely mind-blowing.
Absolutely.
Talk about a few of those transformations you've seen over the last 6 years, Adrian.
Oh, my goodness. The stories are really too numerous to capture within the time frame that we have, but I'm just thinking about specific women that we've been able to touch. One specifically who has adopted the mantra, to go back is to die. She said, I will never, ever be the same after having been touched by what I really think of as our ministry. I will never, ever be the same. She knows her worth.
That's right.
She knows her value. And she has taken the steps to remove all that toxicity that was in her environment before. We often say you can't get healed in the same environment that made you sick, right?
You can't.
And so the awakening that people have had. That's just one transformation. Financial transformations have also taken place where women have gone from purpose to profits. Come on now.
That's right.
Up. Bossed up in their purpose, right? When they've been able to identify those purposes and monetize them, and now are self-sufficient and are able to take care of themselves and take care of their families. And here's the part that lights us up. Doing what they absolutely love to do and what they've been called to do, not the monotony of going on a job every day that they absolutely dread going to. So it is so empowering. It is so liberating. It is absolutely rejuvenating to your spirit to be able to do what you love every single day without fail, to be in alignment with purpose. And, you and I, when we talked about, where we were going next, I said, Martha, a lot of our best conversations are in the car. We need to pull out a recorder and record some, because when things are being downloaded to us and the insight is being given to us, it's a magical thing. It's really amazing what it is that happens when we're doing that. So I'm excited to share what we have to offer, to share these amazing principles that are really, really, really going to change women's lives.
Yes, it will. And I can tell you what, if you can't feel the excitement inside of us right now, if you can't feel the excitement on being able to birth this baby, if you can't feel the excitement on the inside of us, what? I'm just like, oh my goodness gracious. We have come a long way.
Yes, we have.
We have come a long ways. We have come a long ways because we were determined not to get off of that road in which God placed us on. We were determined to create our own blue ocean.
That's right.
In which we could swim in. We were determined to create a friendship that will last until we leave this earth.
Absolutely.
And then some. People will always be talking about my hot sauce, and they will always be talking about the friendship and the true love that they've seen between us, and so as we transition back into this final segment of Real Talk, Real Women, we are going to talk about why a shift is necessary in order for you, our listeners, to rediscover me, myself, and I. A shift must happen. So let's talk about some of the things that we must shift.
Absolutely.
In order to get it done.
Absolutely. There's that little song by Beyonce, Me, Myself, and I. That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. At the end of the day,
that's all you have.
That's all you have is you, yourself, and I. And one of the things that we, the principles that we teach on our campus is that you can't control other people or what they do, but what you can do is control how you respond to other people and what they do. And don't wait for life to just happen to you. You, every single day, you have the opportunity to create the kind of life that you want for yourself. And that's really empowering for women because, unfortunately, we've been socialized that way. We've been conditioned that way to believe that we are here to serve others. And that's a myth. That we're going to address in some later podcasts.
Yes,
while
we will.
While we are to serve, we have to serve ourselves and take care of ourselves first. So this idea of being self-full is really new to a lot of women. It's not being selfish; it's being self-full. It's taking care of me first, so that I can now be the best me and give to other people from that place. So it really is about knowing your worth. It's about knowing your value. And, one of the other principles that we teach is you have to teach people how to treat you.
What? Say that again.
Right. I said you have to teach people how to treat you.
Listen, that statement couldn't be, oh my God. It is the gospel. Because in order for people to treat you the way that you want to be treated and the way that you're supposed to be treated, ladies, we got to teach. We must teach. That's from our spouses
Absolutely.
To our children, to our siblings, to our family, our coworkers. Because if you do not, they are not mind readers. I want you to understand that. They are not mind readers. And if you don't share with them what you will and will not tolerate and what you should, how they should treat you and what you deserve, then they're going to continue doing exactly what they are doing. And that may not be pleasing in your space and place.
Absolutely. And, when you continue to give of yourself that way and allow yourself to be conform to what other people have dictated or mandated that you should be, I call it having a chameleon spirit.
Yes.
Right? You're changing, you're shifting, shape shifting and being a chameleon. Every time you get around somebody else, you have to be something different. Eventually, you're going to wake up and you're not going to even recognize who you are. And so it's super important. The other piece that really resonates with me is when you operate that way, you become bitter and you become resentful of the people that you say you love, say in air quotes, right?
That's right.
You become bitter and you become resentful. And I heard Iyanla say once, you make that person a thief because they're stealing from you because you're giving from a place of sacrifice, rather than being self-full and giving from a place of overflow. And so, as it relates to engaging with people that way, the next thing that's super important and why a shift has to take place is you've got to remove the toxicity from your environment. You've got to be strong enough and empowered enough to say no, because you can't get healed in the same environment that made you sick. Period.
My goodness. You cannot get healed in the same environment. You cannot get healed with the same thinking. You cannot get healed with your unwillingness to change.
That's right.
And toxicity, just like toxics that enter into your body can kill you, the toxicity in your environment and in your life can hijack
That's right.
you from ever moving forward. So being able to remove that toxicity, identifying that toxicity and knowing that they are not good for you.
That's right.
Out of alignment with where it is that you're going, and knowing that you must do something.
That's right.
To remove that, your willingness to get uncomfortable so that you can be comfortable.
Absolutely.
Is a part of that process. So I am super excited about us being able to do that and share with women on how to remove that toxicity.
Martha, you said something that made me think of two things. When I talked about alignment, what happens to a car that's out of alignment? It causes unnecessary wear and tear on other parts of the vehicle. So getting into alignment is extremely critical so that you can preserve the quality of the vehicle that you have. You don't want to have to waste money getting tires rotated or buying new tires or less efficient gas mileage. It's the same way when you're dealing with the people that are in your inner circle. You gave your husband's testimony about having cancer. Cancer starts as one cell.
That's right.
One mutated cell, right?
Huh. Come on.
If we can be out of alignment in one area of our life and see everything else around us falling apart. And so going back again to, you cannot get healed in the same environment that made you sick. You have to have some courageous and some critical conversations to remove those cancerous, toxic things from you so that your whole life doesn't end up in shambles. And I'm excited about the opportunity to help women to activate the power that's inside of them to do just that.
Wow. I tell you, and to definitely share with those women how to stop settling.
All right.
Adrian, there's so many women walking around on this planet, and men, I can't leave them out, that has settled for less than, that has settled to stay in that marriage, that has settled to not go after their dreams because they didn't want to offend, hurt, or lose someone. And because they settled, they suffered. And because they're suffering, their resentment, there's anger, there's all of these things that they are dealing with on the inside that's hijacking, that's hindering them, that's delaying, derailing, and aborting what's on the inside of them. And so we're going to teach you the power of no.
Oh, yes.
Because no is a complete sentence. No with the period afterwards. There means that there's no explanation on why you have decided to make that decision.
That's right.
No is a complete sentence. And then you got to understand what you'll tolerate. And so those things that you will tolerate are the things that that's going to continue to allow you to suffer and not up level your game.
That's right.
So when you decide and you make that decision that there's no more settling because there's no more suffering, you're not going to tolerate those same things as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited as I think about future podcasts and when we help people to identify what are you tolerating in your life and what impact is that having on you in other areas. And, you know, it's easier to often to settle than it is to change. But man, the transformation that takes place once you get serious about your purpose and getting into alignment with that. And that makes me think about, you know, something you said earlier, people needing validation. Mm-hmm. And we have a saying on this campus. Validation is for parking.
That's right.
Validation is for parking. It is not for people. And so when you're looking at your purpose and alignment and what it is that you have been called to manifest, you cannot go to the wrong person, share your big dreams with small-minded people looking for validation. You know, I joke around in my family. I have a large family, 5 sisters and 3 brothers. I can't talk to my family about our business and about purpose. I can't talk to them about generational wealth because none of them have ever achieved that.
That's right.
And so you have to be really, really careful about valuing the appraisal of people that you wouldn't trade places with.
That's right.
You know, stop taking advice from people and letting people speak into your life when you wouldn't trade places with them.
That's right. That's right.
So often we do that because it's mama or because it's a sister, loved one or sister or a spouse or somebody else or a spiritual leader, somebody that we're closely connected to. So I'm excited about the opportunity to share with people that you don't need validation from others. You need to get into alignment with what it is that you've been called to manifest, period.
That's right. Period. End of discussion. We must get into alignment. And so with that, because we're in alignment, when you get into alignment, purpose is birth. And when you birth your purpose, you know, when you avoid your purpose, when you run from your purpose, when you're hiding from your purpose, ladies and gentlemen, your life depends on it.
Yes.
Your life truly depends on you getting into alignment on where it is that you are going and where it is that God is taking you.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, you may hear us on our podcast. We're by no means preachers.
That's right.
Or pastors. And, you know, but God called me with a voice to make sure that I allow his light to shine through me so that every voice, every ear that hears the sound of our voices will be impacted and that their light switch will be turned on so that they can shine bright as a diamond.
Okay.
You know, and they can do what they need to do across this planet. Ooh, okay. All right. So that they can do what they need to do across this planet. So, you know, as we are getting ready to close out our first segment, I want you to share 3 key things, Adrienne, with our listeners that they can take away from, they can marinate, allow it to marinate, and that they can utilize it and move forward.
Absolutely. I hope that you all have been taking copious notes and that you've been in a place where you can be free of distractions to really, really receive what is intended for you today. And I want to share 3 things with you. Short and simple. No is a complete sentence. That's right. You heard me. No is a complete sentence. It requires no explanation. N-O period. The second thing I want to share with you is being self-full, ladies, is not being selfish. Take care of yourself first. Get yourself in a good place first so that you can give the best of you, not what's left of you, to the other people around you. You've got to feed yourself first so that you are strong enough to feed others.
That's
and then finally, be you. Unapologetically.
Say that one more time.
Be you unapologetically. Ladies, without looking back and without explanation. Be you.
Yeah, be you. Be you. Ladies, don't ever apologize for being who you are and who God created you to be. Do it unapologetically. Wow, Adrienne, I cannot believe that we are... At the end, there will never be another first Real Talk, Real Women podcast. But ladies, what I can tell you is this, is that we have so many great things aligned and in alignment for you.
Absolutely.
And so that you can take what we've shared on this platform and utilize it for years to come. And so we're excited about that because we're going to be bringing in guests just about on every episode. Some of those guests are going to be people that you see on television, and some of those guests are going to be from real women that have gone through real things that's willing to be 100% authentically who they are and share their transparency. and share their transparencies.
Yes.
So I can tell you what, my bold, beautiful, and unapologetic girlfriends, I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Real Talk, Real Women. And I want to thank my ride or die, my super duper co-host, my hot sauce to this fish. I want to thank my girl, my sister friend, Miss Adrienne Johnson, for being that ride or die sister and taking that journey with me so that we can continue to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower the woman, her life, and her business.
Yes.
So I want you to make sure that you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, TuneIn, iClouds, iHeart, YouTube, and Stitcher Radio. Yes. And I also want you to make sure that you are following us on Facebook in our Rediscover Her group and in our Real Talk, Real Women Facebook page. And I want you to make sure that you are following us personally on our different platforms at Martha Cooper Hudson and at Adrienne M. Johnson on all of our social media platforms.
Yes.
So join us next week as we talk about the power of the mindset.
Oh, yes.
When you change your mindset, you change your life.
Yes.
So being unapologetically me, we will leave no stone unturned. So until then, Adrienne Johnson, take us out of here with your soulful voice as we say goodbye to our audience.
All right, we're going to pull a little Aretha Franklin on it. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Hey, take care of me, myself, and I. Love you, ladies. Until next time.
Thank you for joining us this week on Real Talk, Real Women. Make sure you visit www.marthacooperhudson.com, where you can subscribe to the podcast. And while you're at it, join our Facebook group at www.realtalkrealwomengroup.com.